talked about, traveling from Burlington and meeting David, etc., where travel is involved. I just want to talk about travel. Okay, this has to do with travel. I'm not a travel agent, okay, but I'm going to talk about travel. And I want to start with, actually, Mzia's father. So, Mzia's father, he was born in Georgia, which was part of the Soviet Union, but it's an independent country right now, Georgia, on the Black Sea. It's a beautiful country. Really, they say, God went to create paradise. Georgia really would have been the country. It's just amazing. It's the Caucasus Mountains, the Black Sea, etc. So Gia was born in Georgia, and then after graduating high school, he went to Moscow to college. And there, actually he traveled, so this is part of the travel theme. So he traveled not from Burlington, but from Kutaisi, Georgia, to Moscow, where he met Julie, his future wife. So they fell in love and they got married, and then Mzia was born. So I guess the travel genes passed on to Mzia because she attended her father's high school. It was a specialized English language high school, and actually it was the number one. It's the number one high school in Moscow. And then, actually, Mzia, she traveled to Egypt, where she lived and was an instructor, a diving instructor in Egypt. So then she moved to Mexico, where she also lived, and she was a diving instructor. And then she traveled through Central Asia, and there were a lot of suitors, okay, I want to say, in Moscow, in Egypt, in Mexico, and in Central Asia, Central America. And then she also traveled throughout South America. I mean, I guess the travel genes were pretty stronger than the father's, because he just made a trip from Georgia to Moscow, which is only 2,000 miles. But if we measure her mileage, probably it's, 200,000. Yeah. So then, somehow, after all of these travels, etc., actually David put his eyes on Mzia, and I guess there was, chemistry in the air. And finally, David found Mzia, and Mzia found David. And after all of those travels, she ends up, marrying David, and David ends up marrying Mzia. And, yeah. But I guess David, he could have actually found a job in New Jersey, but he decided to find a job in California so that he could continue to travel, with Mzia across country. So this is to the traveling, young lady, and to the lucky guy for finding his bride, his wife, after she traveled all over the world and finally found each other. So this is to you guys, and good luck. Yeah, travel continues. Okay. We traveled across town.